Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel Reading is Fun. I am Sohail and today I'm doing a book review on Matilda, written by Roald Dahl. This is one of the books that Roald Dahl has written. He has written many other books and this is one of his most loved and most read book in the world. Matilda is a girl. This book revolves around a girl, Matilda, and she has parents, her mother and father, and a brother. You might want to call them silly and foolish. Matilda really thinks of it like that because her mother is always trying to show off. Her brother is a big bully and her father is making money illegally by selling old cars for expensive prices. So Matilda is not like her family. She is nice, kind and wise. And when she starts school, she meets with another bad bully, that is Mrs. Trunchbull, the headmistress of her school. Mrs. Trunchbull, most of the kids were terrified of her, as they would describe her as a big beast, terrified, scary, and you might want to call her a torturing devil. And throughout the story, Matilda, the little Matilda, uses her powerful magical eyes, which are capable of moving anything by looking at them, teaches her parents, her brother, and Mrs. Trunchbull some good lessons. It's a big laugh when you read how she tortures Mrs. Trunchbull. And this book has been turned into a movie as well. So if you want to see the whole thing happen visually, you would want to check out the movie as well. So when I read the book, I could not stop laughing. In the starting, it's a little bit slow movement, and then when she starts school, she meets her best friend Lavender, and they both together make a big ruckus of Mrs. Trunchbull, and Matilda herself at home uses her magical powerful eyes to torture her brother and her parents, who mostly forget about her all the time. And throughout the story, something very important, that actually Matilda also learned, was when her father said to her once when she was being punished, when people are bad, they have to be punished. But he did not say kids, as everyone thinks of that when kids are naughty and kids are bad, they should be punished. But Matilda's father, by accident, and definitely not on purpose, gave her a new evolution, a new idea that anyone, no matter what age, anyone who is bad should be punished. And that's how she started torturing Mrs. Trunchbull, and I have to say, Mrs. Trunchbull really deserved what Matilda gave her. Even though Matilda is a short little girl, but she's got some big things up her sleeve. So you do not want to get on the wrong side of Matilda. So throughout the story, after all the torturing and all the getting revenge on, there are also some funny and peaceful events that the bad guys also take their parts. Like the part where Bruce has to eat a giant cake, and there are some other funny parts, but I want you to read the book and see for yourself and have a good laugh. So one more thing I learned from this book, and it's serious, is that no matter what your age, no matter what your height, how you look, your physical features do not matter that much. what you have to do is look from the inside and act who you naturally are. And you do not need to be at a very specific or high age to do something nice. You can do it at any age. Either you are young, old, or in between, anytime, you can always help and make the world a better place. And no matter what your physical features and looks are, you are always beautiful, and we all are unique in our own ways. So respect everyone, and that's what Matilda or Roald Dahl explains, is that Matilda, take for example, was very short, and she was being bullied by people who were much higher than her, much stronger than her, had more power than her. But Matilda, being smart and wise, got over them and stood up for herself. So these are the few things which Roald Dahl had explained. But one question that popped up in my mind, and I just have to mention it here, is that Mrs. Trunchbull, who thought little children were stinky, rotten cockroaches, were just horrible and she couldn't stand them, then why did Mrs. Trunchbull run a school? Why was she a principal? Couldn't she just have gone somewhere else or restart her Olympics career like she used to? But according to the book, if you read it with full concentration, Roald Dahl says that Mrs. Trunchbull wants to make the little children grow faster, and she wants them to become her so-called disciplined, perfect, peaceful people. Now, if you really have read the book, and if you know Mrs. Trunchbull very well, you know how if you let the children go completely in control of Mrs. Trunchbull, you know how she's going to end up making them into one of her own clones. That's why Matilda had actually got the idea, and then she started to stop Mrs. Trunchbull. And at the end of the book, that peaceful relief that I got while I was reading was to find that Matilda had started to live with Miss Honey, and Miss Honey had adopted Matilda, and her mother, father, and brother were on the run because the police found out they were selling illegal cars. The truth cannot hide itself for long. The lie always is exposed. And Mrs. Trunchbull, after Matilda's torturing, ran away from the country and was never to be seen or heard from again. If you want to go on this magical, adventurous ride, then you can read the book yourself and find out how Matilda taught those wrong grown-ups who were annoying everybody and her, and taught them a lesson. And Matilda is actually correct. Talk about justice. So that's the end of the book review. And Roald Dahl had really done a good job writing this book. So if you want to know a bit more about him, you can go and check the description box below, where I leave the link of a video where I talk a bit about him and give you kind of like a writer intro. There are plenty more videos coming up on my channel every Sunday, so make sure to turn your notification bell on so you will be the first one to see my new videos. See you next time on Reading is Fun. Bye for now.